Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Gugu and I'm here with the love of my life,
Kearabilwe,
and we are your favorite queer couple. So today we're doing, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, I was so shocked, right?
You are the girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
So guys, today I am the narrator. I will be running this segment, this episode, I don't know what you call it, but basically this video. And with this video, I myself will be asking Google questions, but I will also be answering them. And the questions will be around, actually, if you were single, Google, how would you be running the streets? So the streets are is basically just a term given to what I interpret as it being said that, you know what, you're not in a relationship, you're going to be dating, interacting with people in the hopes of finding that person or those people that you can be in a relationship with.
Yeah, but also can't the streets be like you are just looking for people to hook up with?
Yes, so
like it doesn't have to be serious.
Yes, it doesn't have to be serious. But I think for this specific episode, we try and make it in a sense of you working towards finding someone to date.
A partner. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. Are you ready?
No, I'm not. I'm not ready, and I'm so unprepared.
Yes.
So if it feels like I'm unprepared, it's because I am.
Yeah.
And she planned the whole thing. Okay,
And
cool.
I think just a quick disclaimer, guys. Like, we've been in this relationship for quite some time.
Like
so,
5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
5 years. So we honestly don't know how the streets are. Obviously, the streets have changed from 2015.
Yeah. I'm sure they have.
But yeah, we still try and like keep in touch through our friends that are still in the streets.
But I'm sure there's certain things that have stayed consistent.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
the streets are the streets.
And they'll always be the streets.
Yeah.
Just that people now that our age group have money, so the streets are different.
That's true. Actually, the more financially, the more freedom you have.
Yes.
In terms of now you don't stay with your parents.
Yes.
The more you can do stuff.
Exactly. So I think just before we start, first and foremost, I would just like to give people some advice before we get too deep. I think rule number 1 of the streets.
You know the rules of the streets.
I know it from someone who used to be in the streets, and I think this is still true and still relevant, especially because of climate change. Guys, take a jacket. The streets are cold.
I'm so tired of you. I literally was waiting for a real rule.
Rule number 1: always carry a jacket because the streets be cold. Okay. So anyway, let's get into this. I think number 1, Google, you tell us. If you were still in the streets, would you be someone like who works out regularly, or would you just go with the flow, like this is my body right now, or would you pay attention to how your body looks and how you present it?
The way I am right now is that I go with the flow, and whatever happens. And this is the body that has happened. And honestly, I think even if I was in the streets, I wouldn't. Maybe I'd be more cognizant of it because I would be interacting with different people, and then that's when you start thinking, what do they think of my body? Whereas now I'm always with you, and then I don't think about, like, I know how you feel about my body because I know you, and every time you meet a new person, I'm sure you'd be like, what does this person find my body attractive? How do they feel about my body?
Yeah.
So maybe I'd be more cognizant, but to be quite honest, knowing me and how much sometimes I can be a bit lazy when it comes to exercise and like doing stuff, I'd be the same. I'd be the same. I'd be lying if I sat here and said I would be exactly the same.
Alright, I think for me, guys,
and also just to say, I feel like it's important to say I have a bit of privilege with regards to, like, my body is not the most discriminated in society, so I can live my life like, I don't care how it looks. So I mean, I did gain weight during the lockdown, but I'm still not like, discriminated against, and I can understand people whose bodies are always, then they would have certain feelings, but as for me,
Yeah.
I know for a fact that I have the privilege of this, but I'm just like, whatever happens, happens. I don't care.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lit. I think from my side, actually, guys, I grew up a young funsununu, so working out.
People don't know what that means.
Like studa, like fat, chubby. I was a very chubby kid. So for me, working out has always been something that I do, and I do feel like if I was currently still in the streets, when I'm looking at people that like right now, a lot of people do work out, especially as black young professionals. It's something that people really do take part in. I would definitely be there. Like, I would be those people. My goal would be doing those those push-ups and then clapping in the air.
Why don't you do those?
I'm gonna start.
We're gonna insert a video of her attempting to do one right now.
Yes, I'd probably fall on my face. But
so
yeah,
you'd be a hectic, like,
you're 5 a.m. 5 a.m.
gym fanatic type fitness bunny.
Definitely. Like, my body, how I dress, like, I would definitely make sure. I feel like even now I'm still like that.
Yeah, you
but
are.
I feel like
but
I
it's
would
not
be,
as much.
It's not as much. I would be at another level.
But why do you think that? Like, why?
I think it's because, like, being someone who usually has to approach the female first, that's just my experience, where I have to approach first. The woman first.
Yeah.
I do feel like it gives me confidence when I feel like, okay, I'm looking good, I'm looking fresh, my clothes are nice, I'm confident about my body. And in that sense, then I feel free to engage with people and not limit the engagement in terms of, like, if you get what I mean, like, if it has to go to sexually at night, I won't have to think a lot about it. I'm very comfortable.
What I'm saying is, so what you are saying to me right now is that you wouldn't be as confident if you did not work out.
Yes, and I think, but that's why I stated that I was a chubby child. So growing up,
like getting bullied,
people always making comments about it, like, oh, no, I don't know mukaba. Then you feel like, oh, okay, maybe having mukaba is not right. But obviously in that process, I would still try and work through it, but I know deep down in myself that I work better when my endorphins are pumping and they're high. Yeah. All right, so secondly is, would you use a dating app? And then just to follow up on that, would you be open to men and women, or would you, like, kind of limit it to a particular?
No, I wouldn't limit it because I'm pansexual. So, like, it would, I wouldn't limit it. I would. Doesn't it have the option to say anyone? I would just put anyone. Okay. But I have thought about, would I use a dating app?
Yes.
And the answer that I got to was no.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
why?
I think it would give me a little bit of anxiety, like talking to a lot of strangers at once. I mean, you don't have to talk to them at once.
Yeah.
I don't know why it would give me anxiety. Just like interact. I think it's meeting someone on the internet would give me a little bit of anxiety because I'm not sure about who you are, but I do think I would use the app if I had to use the app.
Yes.
And then because it uses the people in your radius, and then I see someone that I know of or I've seen around. Like, let's say you went to the same varsity, or you've seen them around, or you have a mutual friend or something, like you kind of know who they are. Then that would be fine. Oh, okay. Because then it's just like, it's not a stranger.
Oh,
so I think I would do. So maybe if I would use the app, but in my mind I would be like, okay, I've seen this person around and I am interested, yes. Okay. And then the rest no. Because that would just make me anxious. The world is not safe. I don't know.
I get you.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I don't know if I would use a dating app as well. I just always felt like texting while trying to know someone, trying to, like, get someone to like me has never been my strong suit.
She sucks at texting. That's what I was about to say. You suck at texting.
So
like, if her and I didn't stay in the same res when we met, I don't think we would have dated. Literally. Because the only reason that kept me interested in her, or that kept us really engaged, was the fact that you could come see me quickly, would have a chat, and then you'd go, and then you'd come see me, and then eventually like, oh, I like this person. We've been talking a lot. But like she's not like that texting wise. You didn't. First of all, she used to write me letters. She didn't even text me. So she really, no. Yeah. Who she is in text is not who she is
Literally,
in real
I'm
life.
not, and I feel like that's always a disclaimer.
And
I have
honestly,
to tell
for the
people.
streets, that would hurt you.
It would.
How would you?
It would.
Because even Tinder, you still have to chat.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that would be a mess.
that's why I feel like most of the people that I would engage with and talk to and stuff, I feel like it would be through friends. Like it would be like
someone you've seen in real life.
Yes, like maybe like a friend of mine is throwing a housewarming or whatever, and then I'm there,
and then
I see them like, oh, this person looks attractive to me, and then I would go like talk to them or whatever. Or if a friend of mine, I've seen them go hanging around someone that I feel like I like, I'd ask them, hey, do you know if this person is available, is single or whatever? Oh, okay, cool, sharp. Like I'm more of that type of person.
She's more for like a real life person.
Literally, that's
if
me.
there's one person who cannot be an online person, which used to frustrate me, but now I don't care. It's this person. Like,
yeah, no, like online wise.
Like you even better on the phone, like a phone call. Like I think that's when we, like even during the holidays when we first went, like we would still talk, but like if you think you're gonna be flirting with her on text,
no, I'm not.
Ain't gonna happen.
Literally, but I must say, when I was still in the streets before Google and I like settled down and made things like official.
Settled down. You make it sound so serious. Before we settled down.
Yes, that like the calling, you know, and mostly like SMS, if that was the case, kind of helped me in a sense because like, you know, people would deal so much with incoming WhatsApps, incoming DMs. For someone to answer the call and for someone to stay on a call with you for like 30-40 minutes, that actually would mean that someone actually really...
And it makes you more memorable.
Exactly.
Because like if so many people are DMing you and this one person calls you, then it's like, oh,
literally.
I remember them more.
Exactly.
Yeah. But sometimes you just don't answer the phone call because phone calls are awkward sometimes.
Yes.
If you don't click.
Yeah, but most of the people that I went with, the phone calls were great.
Whatever.
I know they still remember me. I made you laugh, honey.
Whatever.
Alright, cool. And the next question, would you be someone that goes out on a lot of dates? Or would you like be like, I'll text, and then I'll go out on a date like after I've texted someone for like 2-3 months? Or are you someone that like, date, okay, I don't like you next, da 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 da.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, honestly, my answers, they might not be true because I can't, like, it's hypothetical. Like, we won't know for sure because I'm not single. But from my thoughts, I know myself, and guys, like, I can swap sometimes, and I can just be. It's not that I'm a lazy person, but like there are times I just don't feel like doing things that are inconvenient for my soul, and I see dating a lot being quite inconvenient sometimes. Like I'm imagining it and like meeting a lot of people. Let's say 1 week I go on 3 dates.
Yeah.
That's not possible.
It's possible.
What schedule is that?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
True, it's possible. It's possible. Weekend is long. Yeah. Let's say I go on 3 dates. Now, the thing about dating is that, it's time consuming and can be a bit tedious.
Yeah.
If you're not clicking, obviously if you're clicking with the people, then it's amazing, it's great. Yeah. But like, what are the chances? Not everyone's you're gonna click.
Yes.
So I'm thinking of like, okay, now I have to obviously dress up, as she said, makeup, expensive stuff, nice clothes, my perfume, because I'm gonna look good. One thing about me.
One thing about this girl.
Now I get there and I get to know you, cool. And obviously, normally dating is like you ask similar questions because everyone has the same questions, obviously, because they're just trying to get to know the basics first.
Where you working? Where you
where do you work?
Where
Where did you go to school? Where did you grow up? How many siblings do you have? Oh my God.
Okay, cool. Wow. What are you listening to?
Like I'm just thinking of that, and that whole thing would tie me out. So for me not to get tired of dating, I think I would be a once in a while dater. Like I would be a go with the flow. Like if I meet someone, or if my friend says, oh, I know someone, or if let's say we're at a party, as she says, and I see someone and I like their vibe because I'm seeing them interact with my friends or interact with people I know, then I would be like, oh, okay, let's do that. But I wouldn't like intentionally be like, oh, let me set up these days, let me be on Tinder, because I know myself that would tie me out and it wouldn't be sustainable. Like after the second week, I'd be like, no, it's fine.
I think from my side, I won't lie. Like for me, I love dates. I really love dates, and because of how I meet people, which is very like face to face, or as I said, I'm not a big texter. Firstly, if you don't text, you don't actually meet a lot of people, A. But B, I can get to pick up from a vibe. Like when I first met Gugu, we spoke, and from how the conversation was going, I was like, I do want to
click with this.
Exactly.
But
so I know.
But that's the same thing that I said.
Yes.
Your question was, would you multi-date, like, you know, like those people that are intentional, and you would date, like, just not even knowing they vibe yet, you find out they vibe on the date. That's what I'm saying. That's multi-dating.
I think I would, because I feel like for me personally, I don't like wasting time. Like, I go out on a date with you, I'm comfortable. On that first date, I will probably pay because I asked you to come here, right?
Unless they asked you.
Yes, if they asked me, I can see how I date the most. Like, you know, but those kind of dates would not be like a full-blown meal. Like,
maybe
you know, it would be
drinks.
like drinks. Yeah, like I'm like, oh, when I catch drinks, there's happy hour, go guy. Hey, if the girl feels like I'm too cheap because I'm asking her out for a happy hour, Puma. You know, like, if now I'm there and then this girl, now I said drinks, now this girl, and I'm ready to leave and this girl wants food while we're doing
that would be awkward. You can't leave. That's the thing. Like, what would happen if you said drinks and then you guys are drinking and you feel like, okay, this date is not going well. I need to quickly say I need to get home. I need to quickly
do something,
find a way to leave. And then they're like, oh yeah, let's order a meal.
That has happened to me.
What do you can't say no?
That has happened. And you know how I handled it, right? So it was this girl, I asked her, let's go, whatever. It was Lower Main Ob Square, and I told her, I was very specific, we're going for the happy hour.
The
drinks.
Yes.
And then when we got there, she was like, oh, I'm hungry and I'm whatever. And I was very honest. I was like, okay, cool, listen, I brought money for drinks.
Because mentally,
guys, one thing about me, yes, I'm a very honest person. I'm so straightforward. Like, with me, you know,
for romantic things, you're straightforward and honest, but not like other relationships. But for romantic things, you really are. That's good.
Right? So I told her, listen, I didn't bring money for that. But if you would like to get a meal, I whipped up the menu. This is what we're going to eat. And then you should recognize that by you eating, we won't have an Uber to go home. We'll be walking home.
That is too much. Too much.
No, you were doing too much. No, but you know why? Because I feel like in that space, she could have been like, oh no, sure, I'll cover the Uber. She didn't. And that's why we never went out on another date. Because I feel like,
honestly,
if someone is honest with you, that for me is a big thing. Like, if I can be honest with you, I'm expecting you to be like, oh, okay, I recognize it. Let's do this. Like, oh, she could have been like, no, not that pizza. Let's get this one. And just from that, that's why I love dates, because you get to know it quick. Things come up quickly, you know. So,
I was saying, if I was her, I mean, it's normal to get, maybe you thought I had drinks and then maybe something takes too long, you don't get to eat before you eat.
That's okay.
You get there, I would just be like, I know you say drinks, but I'm just going to get myself a burger. Like, I'm getting myself a burger. I'm not expecting you to be, I'm getting myself food because I'm hungry.
She looked me in the eyes and she's like, I'm hungry.
This is why I wouldn't go on so many dates. Like, I'm one of those people, like, I hate cringe moments, and like dates have the potential to have this, and I wouldn't know what to do. Like, I wouldn't know where to hide. Like, now what must I do?
Guys, me on dates, I was like, okay. That was
did she eat?
She did. We got the pizza. We ate.
She was fine with the pizza.
Yeah, she was fine. We walked home, which
No, we
walked.
Not you guys walking home.
Guys, if you're from Cape Town and you're from the city area, we walked from Ob's cafe all the way to Wolsack.
That's a long walk.
That's what gonna happen when I say we're going for drinks.
Walking.
Yeah. Okay. She was fine, and I got to know her.
And you're actually on a date. You get to know each other more if you walk, guys.
Yeah, walking. That's what
car rides are too short.
That's what I did with Google. Like, we walked to the restaurant.
But our walk was so short.
It was very short. Let go.
I was never gonna say yes to a long walk.
I walk Kilo Champagne.
One thing about me.
So, would you be one of those people, right, that like kind of use the same? Let's say if you're on Tinder or you're meeting people, they kind of use the same line to get with someone, like, or to enter someone.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
That in.
Yes.
I absolutely not.
Okay.
Like, I am just no.
Yeah.
I feel like I would want whatever comes to mind first is what I usually say. So if there's a line that I say when I first meet you, in a romantic sense, it means it's like I didn't plan it before, it just came because I don't know, because it just came up in the conversation, right? So I wouldn't like having the same line that I can always fall back on, just because it starts to feel repetitive and like fake, like Because then now I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I just feel like if you have a genuine connection with someone, the line will come to you in the moment. Even if there's no line, even if you just laugh or you like whatever happens. I don't know, like.
I get you though. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I'm also like that. Like, for me, my anxiety comes in like, guys, you know when you like practice a past paper then, and then a question comes from that past paper, like I get nervous. I'm like, oh, I've seen this before. Wow. And then I'm like, okay, let me remember. Instead of just applying
your
my
mind.
So I'm that type of person, like if I'm in a space, I work best when I just have to apply what I know, not when I have to remember what I've done. So,
also, one thing about remembering a line or thinking of what to say, I know like we've all done it before, because you get anxious before you see someone new or meet someone new. But it's like the problem with that is that you're not present. Like now you're not even like present enough to listen to what they say. You're just planning in your head, like I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
And even if the thing doesn't apply, your responses are gonna seem odd, because it's like
and it kills the flow.
It kills the vibe, guys. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, cool. And then now let's bring it to 2020, 2021. It's COVID, right? How would you wait, let me try and think how to phrase this.
Okay.
Right? People are wearing masks now. We can't see people's faces, right? Would that affect how you
date?
Yeah, how you date.
I don't necessarily think so. I feel like you can pick up people's energies and aura without really seeing them. So I think I would just do that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know, like even if let's say I really like your face, and then your aura is a bit, I'm just like, I'm not enjoying this energy. I still wouldn't have gone for you anyways. So yeah.
I think for me,
but it does make it like, I mean, someone's expressions are really important to see, and the mask does cover that. So I think that would be like the hard thing. Like, oh, now I don't know. Are you smiling? What are you doing? Like,
yeah, I know. For me, I think same here. Like, mask, it is what it is, but I know at some point you take it off.
Yeah, so also like if we're in a private setting, you would take it off.
Yeah.
But I'm just, how would COVID affect
how you maneuver the streets?
How you date?
Yeah.
Because now it's, how would you do that?
Yeah. I think for me, honestly, I wouldn't be as comfortable just inviting people over. Like, you know, on Tinder, maybe you go out on a date and stuff. I think I would truly limit that to like maybe after I've watched you a bit, like after I've seen how the other person is taking the virus seriously.
But like there's a way to get around. No, there isn't. Let's say, my question is, let's say you can actually just... Yeah, you're right, never mind. I was gonna say you can get the person to test, but that's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive. And also those like that waiting time, I don't know if it has reduced or not.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of like, but I think how we would change is just like I would have to kind of watch how the person is maneuvering, how the person themselves, they are treating it. So I'd follow them on like Instagram,
and if they're going to like parties on
all
parties,
the time, then I'm
like,
just like, baby girl.
I can't see you, we'll just have to text.
Literally, that would be me. But guys, like, how would I be if I were to have to go back to the streets now? I don't think I'd be that successful for like the first year. So
because you just be gauging the streets.
Yes, I first have to learn how they've changed. Learn how they, and I do feel like
so many things have changed.
True. Also, I do feel like the queer streets are very different to the straight or heterosexual streets.
Oh, absolutely. And I would have to do both. And
you'd be dipping and dabbling, boy.
I would be a confused hun.
I feel like you'd be bringing a few traumas to the queer streets.
No, I would not. I've worked on myself. Excuse me. Honestly, no. I think that's problematic to like pansexual people. I think you can date men, you can date women, you can date lots of different genders at once, not at once, but at once in a healthy way. There wouldn't be like, oh, just because I dated a man last month and now I'm dating a woman this week, I'm bringing trauma to this woman.
I think it depends on your experience.
But that's what I'm saying, I've worked on myself.
Yes, because my personal experience has been obviously with the women that I've dated before Gugu, was that like if someone hasn't worked on themselves, and working on yourself takes time. Like if you've dated, even if you date me right now and you go and you date a man, there are some traumas and whatever that you could possibly bring into that. Do you get what I mean? Because there's
Yeah, but
certain
you're
things
making
that-
it seem like there's traumas that I would always bring to the queer community just because I dated a man. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to be beat up in the streets. I can't say that for a fact, but my experience has been that.
Yes, but I'm saying those were women that had not worked on themselves.
Yes, I agree with
That's
that.
what
That's
I'm
what I was
saying.
saying. Yeah, no.
But I'm saying me right now, I feel like I've
Yes.
worked on myself enough that like no, that wouldn't be a
fine.
thing.
That's
And also
true.
the type of man I would be dating would not
That's
be the
true.
man that I
Yes.
would now be
And
giving me
yeah.
traumas that I'm gonna now no.
Yes, because I do feel like it's who you are as a particular individual and how you view it. Like some women view like the queer streets as a safe haven. Like I don't know why, because they're not, but they view the queer streets as this safe haven that they come running away from.
That's problematic.
Yes, and some of them then, you know what I mean, then they come here, and that's what I'm saying. Then if you view it like that in a problematic sense,
Yes.
then that is wrong. But if you don't,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm not bashing men, whatever. I'm just talking about how
No.
the experience
What
can
you're
be
saying is valid.
from one person who then dates a particular gender and then moves to another gender, and how they
But
interact
yeah,
with that.
that's valid. But I'm saying I wouldn't do that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think that's for me. It's been very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, also one more thing I would like to add.
Yes.
If I was in the streets,
Yes.
I feel like I would have like 20 tattoos by now.
Hey,
Because
man.
I feel like tattoos are so sexy, and I feel like if I
Yeah.
had a lot of tattoos, I would really like that would be my way of expressing my sexiness.
Oh, okay.
And it would just, that I think
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
think I'm still gonna get them, but I'm just saying it
Yes.
would have accelerated
Accelerated the
it
pace,
because now
yeah.
I'm single, honey.
Yes.
But like when you're in a relationship, you're a bit comfortable.
That's true.
Which is like also not a good thing, because
Yeah.
I feel like you just
Yeah, that's
You
what
just-
I wanted. Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Like, do you feel like we've gotten like comfortable? Like, if you look at
absolutely.
Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Before when I was single, then you just had more time to explore yourself.
Yes,
To like, oh, what do I like? What do I want to
Yeah.
do? Oh, I'm sexy. Oh, let me do this. And then you're in a relationship, you're just like, I'm chilling.
You're doing the pasta challenges.
Yes,
You
I would do
made.
it all, honey.
You're throwing
on
in
the
thirst
gram, I would
traps.
have so many thirst traps. That would be my Instagram page. But like now, I'm just
Yeah.
like, man.
No.
But not in like a bad way. Sometimes it's important to just like chill and be like, man.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's
That's
also
true.
important not to just be like a man forever.
Yes,
But
I
yeah,
agree with that.
balance.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think for me, another thing I was questioning was, would I I feel like I would actually be kind of broke at times, or maybe the first few months or years of being working and being in the streets.
Why?
Because
You go on dates.
we go on dates a lot. You want to impress the person. So I think but the gugu&Kearabilwe now would hopefully then be attracted to someone who just wouldn't be like, but then, someone who would also be like, oh, okay, cool, let's go out, or whatever. But I do feel
I don't think you'd be broke, because to be quite honest, as a couple, we still go out a lot.
Yeah. But that's because you help me. I'm just saying, I don't know.
Yeah, but if you're always paying.
all the time. Me now.
Wow. Why are you putting yourself in those situations where you're always paying?
Exactly.
But,
Yeah. No, but it's been quite interesting. To the people that are out in the streets, guys, you are forever in our hearts. We are forever and ever, saying,
The
what?
streets look fun sometimes.
Really?
And then sometimes they look like, man,
For
okay,
me, they don't
grand.
look fun. They don't look
Most
fun
times
for
I'm
me.
like, grand, I'm fine.
Yeah, for me,
Just
the
because
streets
I
don't
12.
look fun. Why did you say the streets look fun?
Sometimes they look fun.
What about them looks fun?
Don't do this. Leave me alone. But don't you think there is of course there's pros to being in the streets, you're exploring yourself,
Yeah.
you're meeting new people,
Yeah.
you're having fun, you're
Okay.
focusing on you more. When you're in a relationship, inevitably you focus on the other person as well.
Yeah.
A lot of my thoughts in a day are about her.
Yeah.
Is she okay? Is she
That's
well?
true.
And that's fine. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if I was single, I would have more time to think
Time,
about
that's
me
true.
only.
That's true.
But also being in a relationship helps me because there's someone who thinks of me.
That's the thing.
So that I also benefit in that way.
Yeah.
So it's just it depends what you prefer.
Different. And I feel like for me being in the streets, I've achieved a whole lot more personally for myself.
Not
also.
being in the streets.
Sorry, not being in the streets. I've achieved a lot, graduating. I know it's
But you would have graduated even if you're in the streets. I always tell you this. That's irrational to think that otherwise.
Guys, me, guys.
Maybe you are tatega cool. That's your problem. You'd be everywhere in the streets.
Yes.
But I feel like if I was in the streets, I'd be the exact same person, guys. I talk
Really?
so much. Honestly, I need tatega. I would literally just be
I'm
chilling.
no, definitely. I would still achieve what I want to achieve and whatever. But I feel like sometimes in the streets you look back, like you're like, ish, should have gone to that party, this.
True,
like
you have more FOMO.
You wonder
That's
too
true.
much.
You
like,
do have
you
more
wonder,
FOMO.
like when you see someone posting a nice picture, you hear like, oh, they're nice. Whereas when you're in a relationship, you're like, no, I'm good, I'm here. You can manage your time better, manage where your eyes go, and I feel like helps you to.
You have less FOMO because you're just always chilling with your best friend, and you don't really.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have a little bit of FOMO, but you're just like,
literally,
let's stay at home.
Yeah, no, guys, but that's us. That's how we think we'd be in the streets.
Yeah.
Let us know if the way we say we'd be in the streets, would we actually like be dateable? Would we be attractive? I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, you're not.
Like, you know, the way I answered my questions, right?
Yeah.
And the person who's watching, would they be like, okay, cool. Actually,
do you think we're fit for the streets?
Yes,
that's
would
what
be
you
fit
mean.
for the streets, and would achieve our objectives.
Or are we just lying and you feel like that's not how we'd be in the streets?
And if we're lying, guys, let us know how are the streets, how are the queer streets.
Actually,
I want to know.
I wonder how the queer streets are, because guys, I never got to experience them because someone. Literally.
But I also didn't experience them.
You did, don't lie. She's lying. I literally was a young girl. I was in first year. I literally was in high school the previous year. I was living my first year life. And then this girl was like, be my girlfriend.
Guys,
and then
I didn't experience the queer streets.
She's
don't
lying.
care what
She
you
did.
say. I did
She
not.
did.
I did
She
not.
did.
I
She
did
did.
not.
Thank you
I
guys
did
so
not.
much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm narrating, girl.
No, you're not. Bye.
No, but guys, on the real though, let us know what you thought of the video. Thank you so much, and do the greatest things, and let us know how are the queer streets, because I think they're messy, but everything is
Of course
messy.
they're messy.
Everything is messy in life,
Yeah,
but what's the level of messy that's in the queer streets?
Yeah.
Love and light, what's yours must come to you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.